I mean, this is not like it's hard. This is just these two homeworks are annoying because you don't know exactly what they want you to say.
We had a conversation the other day about there's more than one way to do it, and Math Excel wants you to do it one way.
Yeah. Oh, they got small all of a sudden. But most of the homework is not like that. That's only like 10 problems out of the whole thing.
This one's different.
But, okay, so tan over 1 plus secant minus secant over tan. It wants us to rewrite the whole thing just using tan. So tan over 1 plus. I don't think you need a tan, Angel. I think you have a very natural tan.
Also, he calls himself white, and yet, like.
I'm not sure about that.
You see my other family, they got it.
Okay.
Although, I say that, but
Demonstrate progress, but I'm not going to.
Do it.
Well, isn't that just look at that? Like that.
Oh, no,
so,
I think my
I'm
message
trying to
side is
figure out what
kinda
to do.
like-
Okay.
Really?
All right. So we want to write this whole thing in terms of just tangent. Well, let's kind of start with the obvious thing and put the two together, right? If I put them together, so I need to go tangent times tangent, the whole cross multiply crap that drilled into you back when you're in elementary school. And then I need to go the 1 plus secant times the negative secant. So negative 1 times negative secant is plus secant. And then secant times negative secant is minus secant squared. And I've got negative 1 plus secant.
Question,
Yes.
why is it plus secant next when one is a negative?
Okay, the 1's a negative, but this is also a minus sign.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I was like, okay, this is really like plus negative secant. So
Okay, I didn't know.
negative, negative is positive, positive, negative, negative.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. You're good. I like questions.
I
'Cause
just didn't.
odds
I
are,
didn't see the negative, so I was really confused where that became a positive.
all right. So now we see squares. We're naturally drawn to the squares. What do we know about the squares?
That. It can make other things.
Oh,
And tangent squared.
Yeah, 1 plus tangent squared is secant squared. So I can rewrite this as
1 minus.
minus 1 and minus tangent squared, right? Because it's minus secant squared, right? And magically, what happens? Tangent squared minus
Cancel
tangent
each other
squared.
out.
They find love and they run away together.
Not really.
Lana, pizza is real. Pizza is true love. What are you talking about?
Cheesecake we will.
I do like pizza.
All right. And then magically, what's left on top?
The same thing that's on the bottom.
So just 1 over tangent x. Boom.
Wait, why does? Oh,
So it didn't
oh,
have
that
to
is so late.
Which is cotangent, but they asked for the answer just in terms of tangent. So. Let's do one more like that. So we have all that stuff with cosine in it. We want to rewrite in terms of cotangent.
So we're gonna do something to have it fine.
Well, first thing we're going to do is just rewrite the problem. But yes, we are. I mean, basically, most of these come down to just the Pythagorean identity. One of them. That was a plus sign, wasn't it? It was a minus sign. Yep. Actually, I'm still going to leave it a plus sign. I'm just going to put minus there. Because I do that in my head, even if I don't write it down, because it makes it easier. All right, so just like last time, we need to get everything over a common denominator. We need to get our pen to writing. There we go. Common denominator, which is 1 minus cosine x, 1 plus cosine x. For this one, we got 1 times 1 plus, so 1 plus cosine x. And then we've got 1 minus cosine x times minus cosine. So that's minus cosine x and plus cosine squared of x. What happens to the cosines?
Bye.
Bye. Hope you're happy together. So happy together.
Is it because, I'm sorry, is it because once you cross out the one plus cosine of x, that just kidding.
Okay.
Sorry.
So the next thing we're going to do is multiply the bottom, which is difference of squares, right? Because I got 1 minus cosine, 1 plus cosine. So I know it's just going to be 1 minus cosine squared on the bottom. But what's 1 minus cosine squared? Sine squared. All right. So I've got 1 over sine squared plus cosine over sine squared. What's 1 over sine? Cosecant. Yeah, so cosecant squared and cosine over sine is cotangent squared. But that's not quite what they're asked for, because they want the whole answer in terms of cotangent. So how can we turn cosecant into cotangent?
I feel like there's an easy way.
So,
So when you see squares, you should be thinking Pythagorean identity. Which one has cosecant in it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, 1 plus cotangent squared is cosecant squared. So I can rewrite this guy if I can get my pen to write. You can do it, pen. There we go. So I can rewrite this guy as being 1 plus cotangent squared. So the whole thing is just 1 plus 2 cotangent squared of x. Boom. One plus 2 cot.
You know, if you call each other and after they have rotated in the other people.
I'm not sure that's good. That's comforting at all.
They're not rotating together.
Let's go to 23. Ooh. Okay, here it's saying graph 2 of them. If they appear to coincide, verify the equation is identity. If they do not appear to coincide, it indicates the equation is not an identity. So we need a graphing calculator. We know what secant looks like. Which one looks like secant? Yeah, A is secant. So the left-hand side definitely looks like the graph in A. As far as the graph in B, if I put in 0, cosecant is 1 over sine, so that's like infinity times 0. Oh, this would be, yeah, let me just go to Desmos. Cosecant tangent minus 1 minus 9. Okay.
All they have to
You know my password? What's my password?
Pizza.
Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut. Kentucky Fried Chicken and Pizza Hut.
McDonald's. Nobody else knows that song. Every time I sing it, everyone's like, please.
Yeah, I know you did.
McDonald's.
I don't want to
heard
be.
that.
I don't want to
Have
be.
you ever seen,
I don't want to be.
that Super Size Me movie? They play it in that.
I don't even know where I went. I was in my big sister.
Why does it not like this?
I don't want to be. I don't want to be.
Oh, it wants parentheses around the argument for. Whoa!
Oh my gosh.
Hey, that's
That was kind of
it.
scary looking though. Not
Let's
gonna
look
lie,
at
it
it.
looked like-
Woo! So that looks like the same picture, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's it. Of course, I know what Angel really wanted to do was just guess and then, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
Another
did.
chance.
I didn't get it right.
So the equation is an identity. Secant x is equal to tangent x over sine x, which is, yes, that is true. Everybody happy?
Partly.
This is basic math.
All right.
I just put actually like 5 times 5 is 26.
Let's not go there.
So another one, cotangent. Which one looks like cotangent? Yeah, C and D both look like cotangent as far as the that part of D looks right. So now we need to know if the rest of it also looks like cotangent. So tangent over secant squared minus 1.
Dr. Shane, can you put in cotangent and secant and all those inside your calculator?
Yes,
You can?
sure. There's cotangent. As far as that goes, I can graph them both on the same axes. It's tangent over secant squared minus 1. And lo and behold, the picture looks they overlap.
So they're equal to.
So they're equal to each other. Let's see. Yes, it is an identity because tangent over secant squared minus 1 is tangent over tangent squared, which is 1 over tangent, which is cotangent. Oh, in a calculator, you have to actually type 1 divided by tangent x. Is- Okay, sorry about that. I wasn't even thinking. Thank you.
My hands look like pizza.
I am. Sounds like pizza. I watched it like 3 times.
I'll watch your mom.
So is your face.
Thank you for sticking that back.
Thank you. You're welcome.
I know I was talking about your mom. I was talking about